Hi everyone. Hi Ravikant. GM. Hi
CMG.
Karan.
Hi, hi, hi. Hi, PB, hi, Ravi.
Hello, hello.
Guys, we'll start in like 1 minute. I'm just checking with Seb.
Hi guys. Hi Karan. Hi PB. Hi Ravi.
Hello, hello.
Guys, can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yeah, hello.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think so. Sebastian will be here in some time. Um, you guys can drop in your questions. We will be taking all community questions about Bharatbox, the experience we're going to have very soon, and all the NFTs which we'll be launching very soon. Just a quick mic check, Karan, PB, and Ravi. If you guys can hear me, can you just speak up for once?
Yeah, Karan, yeah, I can hear you. Thanks.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, we are good to go. Uh,
All right, guys. Since we are waiting for Karan, PB, if we can talk about what we have been doing in the background for Bharat Box and about the workshops, the boot camp, and even the AMA, how this is going to be. PB, can you hear me, Karan?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can hear you.
All right.
So quickly to summarize for those that don't know, hi everyone, Karan here from Bharat Box, and Bharat Box is a joint venture between Brink and Sandbox to promote the Sandbox ecosystem in the Indian market and get Indian IPs and brands onto the Sandbox. We launched at India Blockchain Week in December last year, around 6 months ago, and went live with the Hangama World, which was the first Indian music brand to be, first Indian brand to be on the Sandbox. We are now going live in end of July, early August with Jab We Met from Shemaru, where we do some minting avatars of Kareena Kapoor, the actress, from a character called Geet. And that will be the first Indian avatar collection on the Sandbox. So very excited for that coming up. And I think in the course of this AMA, we will share a lot more details.
All right, that's really exciting. Also, just a quick heads up, I'm Shila this side from Bharat Box, and I'll be just taking care of the introductions. We have Ravikant from Polygon as our moderator. Ravikant, if you can speak up for a minute.
Sure. Hey, GM everyone. Super excited to be on this space, and this is Ravi Agrawal. I'm director of growth at Polygon ID, which has recently been rebranded as Privado ID, and the intention is to bring out identity solution for many Web3 verticals, and metaverse and gaming seems to be a very important vertical from our identity side. So super excited to see what's happening with Bharat Box and Sandbox at large.
Thanks, Ravi. We're excited to have you. Thanks for taking out time to mod this.
I think since we have some more time before Sab joins in, I believe I would like to learn a little bit more. Karan, if you're okay, we can try and understand a little bit more about the idea behind Bharat Box, and maybe the kind of themes that you are working around, and what do we expect in a quarter or so from now.
Yeah, sure, Ravi. So BharatBox is to revolutionize and bring Web3 technologies and blockchain technologies to the Indian digital and entertainment space, be it in media, entertainment, music, sports, culture, and is to bring such Web2 industries on chain. That's the goal of BharatBox, right? And we started with Sandbox, where we had our first land sale in December called Bharatverse, which went live. And we had 25 brands who partnered with us, right from Web2 companies like Hangama, Shemaru, and Eros on the Web2 side, but even Web3 companies like CoinDCX, IndieGG, and various others. So that's a bit of background. I think Seb has just requested access. If someone can let him in. You can- who's the host? Yeah, okay, good.
All right, I think that we have Sebastian here. Hi, Sebastian, GM sir, how you doing?
I think it still says connecting. I don't think he's connected yet. Let's wait. Seb, are you here?
Yup. Hi Seb, how you doing?
Yeah, I think he's a listener. You need to give him the request to
Yup.
give
I've given the access to question.
Yeah, now I think it's done. Yeah, hi Seb, can you hear us?
Uh, Ravi, I think we can continue. Maybe we'll see if Seb is joining.
Oh, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Anyone?
Yeah. Hi, Seb.
Anyone can?
GMGM.
Oh, hey, okay, hi, finally. Yes, sorry, I had some trouble and like to connect, and nobody was hearing me, it seems.
Yeah.
No, I think we
Good
can hear you now. We're good.
morning, good
We can hear you now.
afternoon, good evening, based on where we are. I'm glad to be online with the community from India on the Sandbox, the Bharatbox community, and really looking forward to share some of the latest update about Sandbox, including the DAO, and answer all your question, of course.
Uh, I think Ravi, you can take over, and maybe we can start again with a quick introduction, and maybe jump into the questionnaires.
Sure, fantastic. Hey, Sabab, GM, thanks for joining. I think before you join in, we were just getting started with a brief introduction about us and then Bharatbox. So, would you mind just giving a quick introduction about yourself and then we'll get started?
Oh, of course, of course. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of the Sandbox. I'm sure like many of you are already familiar with the Sandbox and eventually already active like builders, creators, players, landowners or sandholders in our ecosystem. That's why you're here today. If not familiar, what is a sandbox? We're like this decentralized virtual world where anyone can become a creator and make 3D content and full games and experiences with our no-code game maker and share them, publish them on the virtual land, and start owning and monetizing their creation as they want, thanks to the use of blockchain and NFTs. And we've been partnering with a great number of brands from all around the world, including in India with Bharatbox, and onboarding them into the metaverse, launching avatar collection, launching cool experiences that bring culture uh, to this gaming virtual world.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm sure that Sandbox is such an OG project. Everybody have come across Sandbox in some context for sure. So I believe, Sebas, one of the key point for this particular space to get a little more closer look of how Sandbox DAO is shaping up. So based on the recent news sometime in end of May. I think there has been an announcement around Sandbox DAO. Would you like to just give a little more understanding in terms of what has been the vision of creating Sandbox DAO and what is there in the near-term roadmap for it?
Absolutely, that's a good introduction. So really early June, we very recently we announced the launch of the first phase of the Sandbox DAO. Essentially, it's like we created a separate entity, the foundation, and that entity through the DAO, this decentralized autonomous organization, is focused on like empowering our community of players and creators to give them more freedom, more autonomy, the ability to vote and participate and suggest in the governance of this of the platform through owning sand and owning lands. So they can submit their own SIP, Sandbox Improvement Proposal, or vote on the ones already present to decide and how the future of the virtual world that they are contributing to build and that they participate to its economy by playing or creating or owning the land will evolve. So making decision in terms of like the development roadmap, the features, the gameplay, the priorities, the way the rewards will be distributed, the status of the players based on their achievement or contribution, etc. But not only on the product itself, also like toward like any actions or project that will contribute to expand the sand ecosystem and the sandbox ecosystem through education initiative, through supporting to bring the sandbox to other blockchain, interoperability project, project that touch like metaverse for good, working with charities, etc. So a lot of different possibilities that aim to bring new users, new creators, and contribute to grow and develop in perpetuity and in full autonomy this world. It's already something really exciting. It's from the beginning, it's always been our vision to build a sandbox in a decentralized manner. That's why we picked blockchain and NFTs as a technology, the core technology that we build the sandbox upon. We started to decentralize first like the ownership of the content that people are creating through the assets, through the land, then to decentralize the economy of the platform with the launch of the Sand token around 2020, which is now the Sand token is one of the top 10 gaming token and top 100 cryptocurrency worldwide. And ultimately, now with the DAO, we are really decentralizing the governance and being one of the pioneers in like creating a virtual world that is owned and governed and monetized by the community of people who make this world vibrant and like contribute to grow and develop it.
Amazing. I think that's a theme in Web3 where legit project and OG projects are trying to see how progressively a DAO structure can be established and we can have the community participants. And especially, I think in Web3, community has a very different meaning where we are bringing in the individuals who believe in the vision of a company. Sebas, would you like to go a little more deeper and share a perspective in terms of how this governance would be structured? And in fact, a little bit reading online looks like there are going to be 3 phases or multiple phases in terms of achieving this governance. And if you can also throw some light in terms of how Sand token would be powering up the governance.
That's a very good question, and it's something really unique as well. Again, about Sandbox, like it's not just the Sand token alone that allows the governance. One Sand token represents one voting power, but the land, we have this map of 166, 164 lands in total. We sold 75% of it across different thematic and neighborhoods. Bharatbox is actually one. We did a land sale with 24 by 24 land that brought a lot of exciting partners that Karen was introducing before. Owning one land gives you 4,500 voting powers. So one sand is one voting power, one land is 4,500. Why we did so is like because like in the case of Sandbox, landowners are the one who are going to build, to create the experience all together and to grow the value of that world by attracting the players through their content. And we have 27,000 unique virtual landowners on the platform who own an average of 2 lands. And we have over 250,000 sand holders outside of the centralized exchanges who own 10,000 sand. So that gives balance in the voting. They can vote on the active SIP that they can find on the sandboxdao.com website and express their vote in favor or against any of the proposal. We already have 5 proposals that went through. that have been positively accepted and that pass the quorum, meaning the minimum required of participation to ensure the validity of like the vote. Meaning, like, we already see the community support the constitution of the foundation, the budget, the council, and as well two proposals that relate toward like supporting sustainability project by acquiring carbon credit on Sandbox, and one around like supporting a charity which is Red Cross, an experience built by a studio that has already made its proof on Sandbox.
That's quite interesting and very, very innovative. Thanks for sharing that. I think moving on in terms of what we have been discussing with Karan also in terms of the Bharat Box, would be very interesting to understand typically between Sandbox DAO and Bharat Box, how is the operating model? What kind of synergies do exist in this kind of an, I would say, ecosystem? And is this like more of a JV model, or if you can just share a little bit more detail, and would also invite Karan if he wanted to throw more lights on that.
Right. So Bharat Box was it's actually indeed a GV model where like on one side you have the Sandbox as a company, and on the other side you have Brink, which is like one of the leading accelerator, which has also presence in Hong Kong, in India, in other region of the world. And we felt like the GV approach made sense for India because of the specificities of the market, the size of the market, the fact that it needed a dedicated team just to cover the cultural difference, the localization, and so on. And that team has been delivering really in an outstanding way since like they kicked off. And we announced last November at our Bharat Box Partner Day in India. And their mission is really to bring new partners, new creators to build on the platform, etc. Now there is the DAO launch later. It launched in June 2024. Mission of the DAO is to empower the voice of those players and creators, really allowing them to actively vote and support. So you could think like actually the Bharat Box initiative could become a part of the DAO because there are some parallels in their activity, like running education program, um, various events, organization, etc. But I think essentially that the Bharat Box team has much more operational capability and in a way operate already very in a lot of autonomy to support the growth in a specific market, and can also leverage the DAO itself with Indian partners on the ground to receive, for example, grant, to receive funding, or to spawn this local ecosystem where like more decentralized actors, more actors can actually intervene in a more decentralized manner to support overall the action of Bharat. I would say like Bharat is a core initial local partner that will support an ecosystem. That ecosystem can be funded through the DAO to bring, to educate, to attract creators, to support more. One thing that I find really exciting about the DAO and why it's important also to have this IMA in all the different regions where Sandbox is present, it's really aligned with like the culture of Sandbox. You know, we are a very global company. We have 10 offices and teams on the ground. We are very international in our community, 30% in Asia, 20% in Europe, 20% in US. For the first time ever, like already the players and the creators can participate in the future of the virtual world that they are building and playing. But even better, like for the first time ever, a country here or regional world, like here India, that has very often been considered as a tier 2 or tier 3 market in the web 2 industry or in the mobile free to play industry. The market has been left like from like the traditional user acquisition budget, advertising budget, recently sitting G8 and other important um, international institution to have a voice on how this planet should be governed. Now the users and the people from that country are the same equal voting power and ability to be represented and decide than anyone else, like whether they are from the US, from Korea, from Japan, from Hong Kong. And it is new, and it's a chance to build a new world like this. So also I think like our mission is to educate, because we have a lot of users in India as players, as landowners, as sandholders, who can participate actively in the future of Sandbox, and we want to encourage them to vote. This is really something new in gaming, and I want to highlight a lot, and the mission of Bharatbox will also expand into that area.
Yeah, just to add on, that India is a very important market for the sandbox, and the highest number of creators, which is actually 57,000 creators, are from India. And in terms of users, 320,000 users are from India. When Seb first came to India, which was in July last year, when he just came to meet the ecosystem, we were only 120,000 users from India. So that's the kind of growth that we've generated over the last 9 months, and obviously the land sale, which was in December at India Blockchain Week, to support the Indian ecosystem. Yeah, Ravi, over to you.
Thanks, Sebastian, Karen, for sharing that view. I think when it comes to a geography of this size and the kind of diversification that we have from a gaming space, I think it makes the overall proposition very interesting and challenging as well. So that takes me to another interesting question, maybe for Sebas. Just wanted to understand when we talk about the DAO governance and that too with the different demographic across the globe, how are we ensuring the user privacy in terms of voting, or maybe ensuring that we are not entertaining many bots but bringing humans to Web3. Just wanted to bring this challenge which we are seeing from many Web3 applications. How are we addressing this one? If you have some thoughts on that side.
Well, we've looked a lot at how other DAOs operate, whether like the DAOs in various blockchains or ApeCoin DAO or Decentraland DAO, etc. And indeed, one of the first things we saw as their challenge is like them being overrun by few minorities that have like more voting power, control over the voting power by having accumulated a lot of token. And we really thought deeply in that topic, and we hope that the design we chose from the beginning will help prevent such situation, because of like the balance of the voting power and the fact that like even the top holders of the sand token or the land, even if they get all together, like the top 10 all get together, they might not have enough to influence a vote into a certain direction. And the distribution, like if you can look at with a lot of tools like bubble maps or like on-chain analytic tools, like there is a good healthy distribution of both the land and the sand, removing the centralized exchange who cannot vote anyway, which means like hopefully like this spread enough to ensure like we can remain a democracy, and like the vote of the people, the citizen of this virtual world, will reflect like the intention of votes, and always be toward like the greater good of the community. That's that already is active at like reviewing the SIP, discussing them on the forum, and making sure like we are making the community and the DAO is making a good use of every sand that it has available in this 25 million sand a year budget.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think that's another interesting approach in terms of eliminating bots and maybe bringing in more unique users, and ensuring that the DAO process and the governance remains more robust. Maybe going back to the previous point when we were talking about the number of users and especially in the Indian demography. Karan, another point, just wanted to pick your brain and understand what is the kind of user behavior or a gamer behavior that you see differently from an Indian context versus, let's say, for the rest of the globe. Just throwing out light in terms of how easy or difficult the onboarding of the new gamers that you have seen.
Yeah, I think that from India, a very interesting angle is the Indians like to be creators. They like to build on the sandbox so that they can monetize. So the creator economy is very prevalent in the Indian market. And from the user perspective, the users are not very different. Indian users tend to spend less time. We had the our Hangama World as one of our first experiences, which launched. The average time spent was 20 minutes, and we did something very interesting where we partnered with IndieGG or KGen, and we used them to onboard Indian users, and we onboarded more than 7,000 users through their community and university communities which they have throughout the country. So that's how we did something different for India, and we saw and we saw the impact that it had. But I think that to answer your question, the users aren't very different from a playing perspective. The avatar holders are low. Indians so far have not purchased avatars significantly on the sandbox, and we're looking forward to change that with our first Indian avatar collection, which will be released in August. So hopefully we'll see some new numbers then in terms of avatar purchase from the Indian players and creators.
Super. Yeah, I think even to what we have been seeing from the larger Polygon ecosystem, there, gaming has still been one of the most attractive vertical where we have been seeing a lot of traction, and many young brains wanted to experience that kind of innovation with Web3 in gaming space. So super excited to see what's going on in the Bharat box as well. That also brings me to another question. When we are talking about uh, the ecosystems, I'm sure that across the ecosystems there are many potential gamers who wanted to experience games across different ecosystems, right? However, the user experience still is not very smooth when a gamer is working on, let's say, chain 1 compared to a chain 2. And that's where I think there have been several attempts, whether it is bringing in the aggregation layer, chain abstraction, interoperability, in order to fix in the fragmented user experience. And would like to again pick brain for Sebastian Curran. Just wanted to understand, how are you seeing this in gaming space, and anything that you particularly finding it interesting in order to fix that fragmented gamers experience?
Yeah, I think like it's really a common theme, and like the whole blockchain gaming industry is like agreeing like account abstraction um, among as well as like layer 2 solution like really facilitate the onboarding of new users toward like by opening a wallet without even sometimes knowing about it, and like being able to acquire crypto and spend crypto seamlessly and use like gasless transaction or as well to support it and deliver the speed um, that's on par with like more relational databases and like traditional Web 2 gaming. So at the blockchain, like Polygon, have been able for Sandbox to deliver toward that expectation. So that's why, like, with 2 years already ago, like we chose to build on Polygon, and right now everything you on the Sandbox platform, from lands, from avatars, from the user-generated content assets, are minted on Polygon and transacted on Polygon, and we've seen it really uh, facilitate so much the onboarding and adoption from various creators in our community. It's been very seamless for them. I think um, we all aim toward like simplicity, both in the language we're using, both in the technical solution that we're using. At some point, Sandbox will also announce new partnership that continue to like simplify life of users and developers, no matter the blockchain that they are using. And um, um, and that should be the same with the governance and the DAO. Like it's still difficult and it's still very new for games to have active DAOs that effectively um, provide a level of control and decision making to their community. And I hope like we'll reach that point. We're still at the phase 1. There will be three phases in Sandbox. and I hope that it will become so seamless as well in the future that indeed like people will be able to vote without and it will become a new habit actually, like express your voice, express your vote, be a part of the network, and also receive value as you contribute to the network, and in this case to the governance and the future of Sandbox.
Interesting, very interesting. I think that kind of a user experience where we are abstracting the complexity is gonna be a way forward, and especially when we wanted to attract more and more Web2 gamers who have been, I would say, given so many choices and superior user experience. I think this kind of an abstraction layer and simplification would be very much needed. Again, continuing on the same thread, Sebas, just wanted to understand what are your thoughts in terms of creation of kind of a gamer reputation, or maybe some kind of a pool of verified gamers where we are ensuring that there are enough data points in order to offer more customized engagements or customized experience for those gamers and give them kind of a preference that they all enjoy in the current Web2 world. Any thoughts or anything that you are building on that side? Sorry, was I audible?
Yes, sorry, I was muted. If you look at like how Sandbox evolve year after year, and you play or experience recently, like, you really see the difference both graphically, in the quality of like the games, the variety of the gameplay, the multiplayer, and even simple things, like the performance, loading speed, the launcher, so it automatically updates for you. A lot of things that makes the same thing so much better. I think that we kind of try to have this focus now. It's not always about like adding tons of new feature but half baked. We sometimes is doing less but much better. Our community of creators can feel like how our game maker has evolved, how like the users who are exploring the metaverse, they can now switch in 10 seconds one experience to another versus 2 minutes before. And we're going to continue to deliver on this kind of optimization and performance so that it's really as well like it's becoming more and more enjoyable, to connect so fast, to make friends, to interact and socialize with you others who discover new games on the platform, and games that are built with better creation tool that now have like much more diverse gameplay. And you are from the gaming industry before, so you understand as well of the importance of the fun factor above all. And all of that is supported by the work of the team of Sandbox until now.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think the space would be incomplete in case if we don't touch on to the one of the hottest topic in the space, which is artificial intelligence. So, uh, any thoughts or anything that you are building in terms of any AI capability overall in the sandbox or in the landscape that you have?
Yes, Seb, you're on mute.
Yes, so absolutely. Like we're using AI in many different ways. I believe like AI is really a tool that supports the creativity of creators. It accelerates the process for them to bring to life their imagination. What used to take days of like concept brainstorming and drafting now takes seconds. Really exciting. It's already very efficient for 2D and video. Hopefully, 3D will reach the level of quality that and the specifics of the sandbox as we use voxel. So hopefully that will come in the coming months. And right now, we're already using AI on sandbox. First of all, to ensure that um, we ensure like safety and a very enjoyable experience for every user entering an experience by automatically removing toxicity in-game conversations. We're using AI as well for capturing movement from real human body movement and animation. Like there, we turn video streams captured just with smartphones or iPhones, and we apply those movements to the avatars from the different collection we're launching on Sandbox, which makes those avatar and those movements more lively, more vibrant, more realistic, and drive more emotion and engagement as well. So I really enjoy that part, and I think like we can see like the various emotes, the various dance. I did a tweet recently. I think like we should turn one of my moves that I did in the Bharatbox day into an avatar. That could be fun too. We'll share the moment. I'm sure we can find it. And we use AI as well, exploring about like generating music and sound to create more immersion in the lands. And we've been exploring but not implementing like AI NPCs, dialogues, etc., that can increase the immersion. But so far, I haven't put it live yet, so it remains at the state of experimentation.
Wow, that's quite a bit in terms of things that are happening within Sandbox using AI. Amazing. I think maybe in the interest of time, just wanted to see in case if there are any questions from the community out there. I know that we have crossed more than 400 odd listeners here, which is amazing. If there are any question, please raise your hand or drop it in the chat.
Yep. Ravi, we have some people who wanted to speak. I'll just give one of them the access to speak.
Sure. Great.
All right. Hi, Mirzad. How are you doing?
Hi Ravi, hi Sebastian, hi team. This is Mirzad from Tribe Academy, and I work closely with Bharatbox, Karan, and Luay and the team. We collaborated with Bharatbox for multiple times. Worked,
Thank you, Mirjat, for joining. I want to give shout out. Seb, he is one of our KOLs. So yeah, thanks for joining, Mirjat.
yeah. So it's an interesting journey with Bharatbox and the whole team. And my question is to you, Sebastian. Though we didn't meet in person, love to meet in person. You know that this DAO thing is for most Web3 companies are part of their initial roadmap. So, what made Sandbox launch it so late in their plan? That's what I would love to know.
But I think it's a good question and fair question. I believe we are not late on the plan. Like we look at the white paper we published on Sandbox, it's a 5 years plan, and we are launching it on the 4 years. 4 years, we decentralized the economy before and like the ownership of the land, the asset, etc. And we call it progressive decentralization because we always want to give a cap, a direction on how we're doing things. You look at our even the way we involve the community. We're focused on the creator first. We make sure that people are involved for the right reason, and we support various cultures, various thematic, charities, sustainability, education. All of these things come because like we wanted our community to care and to drive a positive impact. If we were to decentralize very early without setting like what are our core value, what do we care for as a community and as a platform, I believe like we've seen that before, and we've seen either the lack of interest or quickly the derivation around like financial and pure speculation. And I think we want to educate our user, and hopefully the people who are here now, they are here also for the right motivation, and they will continue little bit like a parent, a father, a mother educate a child and like teach them certain values, and before the child becomes an adult, hopefully we're passing over to those children or to our member of the community this vision that we have for Sandbox, for them to expand that vision and build an even and take the right decision. And the decision that will hopefully grow the platform ecosystem as it keeps evolving without necessarily us as a parents taking all the decision and having the authority anymore. Also, it comes with the decentralization of the sand token and the land token. Like, because we progressively over 4 or 5 years release a sand token. Today there's 80% of it in circulating supply, meaning we no longer have the majority control over it. Same for the land, 75% of them are sold. If we were to decentralize early, like there would be still like major investor and a fewer owner of the sand owning larger pool, meaning like a higher risk of like oligarchy, centralized control again, and so on. So I think it's a balanced decision.
Interesting. More power to you and your team. If you may, I have one more question. It might be a little out of the
Yeah.
topic. I really want to know your take on this. So we have been working closely with Sandbox. We've been doing a lot of videos for Sandbox, and I'm a content creator. We generate more than 2 million plus impression every month. So we literally tap into 10% of India's crypto investors in general. And when we create the content, people always say that, oh, this is the future, it's going to happen 10 years later on, like five down the line, 5 years or 10 years. It doesn't make any sense right now. But we people believe in web3. We know that it makes sense. It's very relevant right now. So my question is this: even though it's a little too cliche, but I really want to know your take on this. There is a rapid advancement in VR, AR, XR technologies. So how do you envision these technology being integrated into the sandbox in future, and what new experience could sandbox bring to our users?
Well, the two things. First of all, like thank you very much for like contributing with the content as you've been doing. We'll soon introduce like the ambassador roles on via the DAO, and like based on like the contribution, the amount of content, and how you create an impact, like you will effectively be rewarded by the DAO itself and using the budget allocated to it. So please go on. And I'm glad that I hope you to see you as one of the first and maybe the top influencer from India to promote Sandbox, whether as a creator or other topics. Around like the use of different technologies and platform, there's always this question of like how do we use the technology so it actually drive like first adoption and two exciting meaningful content. We don't want to just do like, okay, here's a quick demo with VR. You play for it for one day and then you leave it on the side. Unfortunately, a lot of VR headset today are sleeping or being used, taking dust. Not say worst thing, like they are like just bricks. How often do you wear it again to use it? Um, So doing a proper great content is actually a lot of time, a lot of energy and focus. You need people who have some experience into delivering quality. The Vision Pro is an exciting device with an amazing quality that really blends virtual and physical together, but it's still too early and not widely massively deployed and at a price point that so it's first only in the US and not other countries, and the price point is very how do you say that? Like it's so high that like we're still far from a massive adoption. So unless someone comes up with a great project that through the DAO gets supported by the community and delivers on it, I feel like it is less our priority as a sandbox to build for this platform. And our priority and mission statement is to focus on doing what we're already doing, but better and better to drive more creators in the space to allow them to earn a sustainable revenue with monetization option, with things that allow creator to drive more engagement into their own games and propel the creator economy. So I think it's less about the device innovation here. It's really about just the iteration over like this simple concept and of the accessibility of content creation of Sandbox.
All right. Thanks a lot, sir. That's a great answer. We'll be taking one more person's request as a speaker, and I think we will be closing the live questions. We have Priyanka here. Hi Priyanka, how you doing?
Hey folks, it's so great to be here amongst all of you, and huge fans of Sandbox in the house. I've actually started my journey creating some of these educational games on Sandbox back in the day, 2020 one, I believe, and we have been working with. My first project was actually with the government of Telangana, and we've been trying mechanisms of immersive learning for high schooler students to make it like a way of adoption through Sandbox and actually teach them, all of these incredible concepts of blockchain in metaverse, right? So that's something I'd like to, work with Sandbox on. And currently, I'm not with the government of Telangana, but this is, for a personal project. So how do we bring the tech and cost barriers down is probably the number one ask, because we are permeating into the tier 2 tier 3 of India, and as you know, we want to make tech inclusive, so would love to get more ideas on that. Thank you. And great to see Ravi after token 2049 Singapore. Hello everyone, and yeah, I would love to collab wherever possible for the benefit of education. Thanks.
Do you want to take that first, Karan?
Yeah, I'll take that first. Yeah, hi. Hi, Priyanka. Glad you spoke up. So there's no cost to download the Sandbox. As you know, the Game Maker tool and the Sandbox platform is there's no cost to that. But on the education front, we are more than happy if you can connect with us. We can connect with you offline. We are supporting universities and colleges all across the country. We, in fact, have 12 education brand ambassadors from 12 different colleges already signed up to our education brand ambassador program, wherein they promote the Sandbox curriculum, which is the Voxed tool, and also the Game Maker curriculum. So happy to work with you and understand which universities you're a part of, and we can happily support those universities through you as the ambassador as well.
Fantastic, Karan. Thanks so much, for the positive boost, and I'll get in touch with you folks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think it's really really excited that you're exploring Sandbox and considering it for education. The Again, like the platform is free to access, to download the creation tool, and even to publish upon. We have different initiative. One is called the Creator Launchpad, where you can request a land if you have a project for certain purpose like sustainability or education. We have boot camps that also are here to educate and empower you. And recently we launched the Builder Challenge V2 as well, which like reward the creators that bring traffic, like the new users as they publish an experience on their land. There's 1.5 million sand to be won over the next 10 weeks. And I think imagine like platform like Sandbox not having Bharatbox. Like how would we know and how can we appreciate the importance of like what you're trying to do here in India with this specific university? We are too far, we are too remote to even comprehend, and so that's I think like one of the strengths of our platform, this strengths and this team we have on the ground, focusing on specific region, that Bharatbox can deliver the proper level of support to you to make things happen and onboard more users. And with the DAO, we can maybe even figure out a project with the school or the university eventually. So they will also help you shape that project after they talk to you. So thank you.
Sebastian, that's really encouraging. Thank you. I just want to, wrap up with one final thing. So we run these cohorts for actually teaching generative AI, but we want to do it in a sandbox, metaverse, so that the retention rates are higher. It's always 60%, and sad to see that the 40% misses out just because we don't have those immersive learning mechanisms. So thank you so much for coming forward.
Cool. I think we can see this as a wrap up. Priyanka will love to be in touch with you. Thank you everyone for joining the space. Sebastian, like always. Thanks Ravi for taking out your time to moderate this. come up with all the lovely questions, brainstorm with us. Thank you, Karan, being the sport, always joining whenever we need you, and everyone out there. So before like signing out, I love to say that we're doing our first boot camp. We have like amazing mentors flying all the way to India to teach you, and you can learn more about Game Maker. So that's coming very soon. Follow us. We are doing this on 4th of July next month. And if you are a creator, we'll love you to register, and we'll love you to have you in Mumbai so you can participate for the bootcamp. And meanwhile, keep following Bharatbox for all the updates. Keep following all the speakers on the panel. Sign up to your Sandbox game right now, and yeah, let's all build towards lovely metaverse and future together.
Amazing. Thank you again. Like looking forward to see more and more participation from our Indian and Bharatbox community as players, as creators, and as voters on the DAO. Let's really push for our voice to be heard and like make sure India is on the world map to influence the future of the metaverse. And I hope to see you in person again soon as a we're preparing the next event with a team in India as well.
Yep. Thanks everyone.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you
Thank you,
All
everyone.
everyone,
right.
for joining.
And
Thanks a
another
lot, Karan.
reminder on the boot camp, as PB said, 4th and 5th of July. So do register for that. And yes, if you're a creator and there's a lot to learn, we have the global team flying down and just to train you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, Sebastian, for
Thank
making the
you. Thank
time.
you.
Thanks a lot,
Of
PB,
course.
Karan,
Thank
Bye,
you.
and
everyone.
Ravikant for moderating it. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in and joining us on this journey for the Sandbox DAO and the Bharat Box collab. So, yes, until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you all. Bye bye. Have a good end of the day.
Yep.
Cheers.
Bye, Seb. Thank you. Bye.